Hi, my name is MACLAIN Way.
I'm the Uncle Kurt Russell.
I'm the brother Brocker Way.
I'm the other brother, CHAPMAN WAY.
And you're watching Billboard.
Hey guys, it's Michelle Marie with Billboard and Sonos. I am joined by Kurt Russell, also CHAPMAN Way, and also MACLAIN Way. What's going on, guys?
How you doing?
Thanks for joining us here at Sundance. So Sundance is a big night for you, especially tonight because your premiere is coming out. The Battered Bastards of Baseball documentary film about your family. It's got to be very special to be here.
Absolutely, yeah. It was a family story. Bing, who's the main character of our documentary, was our grandfather and Kurt's father, and it was just an incredible experience to learn more about what he did with this baseball team in Portland, Oregon in the 1970s, and learn more about him and the team, and it's just an unbelievable experience.
So, at what point did you guys decide to make a film?
It started about 3 years ago.
Okay.
I came across a team photo that my grandfather still had in his office of the Portland Mavericks, and it was just an incredibly unique baseball team photo, in the sense that it was like a team photo I'd never seen before. With guys had their shirts off, some of them were drinking beers. There was a dog running around in the photo, and I just remember thinking, this is a really fascinating photo, and I want to know more about this team, and I want to know more about what my grandfather did, and that was kind of the impetus that started this whole journey.
Yeah, I think that we always knew that Bing kind of owned a minor league baseball team, but when you kind of grow up with that, you don't really question it too much. And we always knew that Bing kind of lived a very storied life. He was a bat boy for the New York Yankees. He went on, he was a great character actor in Hollywood for a lot of years. He had over like 600 parts. He was the Deputy Clem on 13 seasons of Bonanza. And I think that when Chap came across that team photo, there was just something about it that kind of spoke to us a little bit about it. And I think like what Chap said is our first reaction was just like, let's learn more about this and let's kind of dig in. And after a few months of research, a lot of different components of the story started kind of coming into play into being story and life. And we realized then what a great story we had on our hands.
And Kurt, for you, obviously this is about your father as well. So this must be a really special film for you to be a part of.
Yeah, I think probably the most pleasurable experience will be when I actually get to see what they did, because when you're a part of it, you don't look at it as something that somebody else might want to know about. And it was 40 years ago. It was a different era. It was a different time, and I was going to say, he wasn't ahead of his time. He was always out of his time. And I'm interested to see what they gleaned as grandsons about this guy. I love the fact that they discovered this man. He was a dichotomy. He was a really smart guy who was a Dartmouth business grad who wanted to do two things in his life, play baseball on Cowboys and Indians. And that's exactly what he did. And when he had this opportunity to create the first independent team of baseball in 39 years, nobody wanted to even know about it. Nobody, if you weren't connected to a major league team, you couldn't have ball players that could compete at the level that you needed to in professional baseball. But because I was playing ball at that time, and I was with the AA team in Texas with the Angels, I knew a lot of players, and he knew a lot of players from watching me that we saw had been passed over, or perhaps for personal reasons, flaws in their character, they were let go. So he had a bunch of guys that wanted to prove themselves to these clubs that had let him go, and he had good ball players. He knew he could compete.
He knew he could compete.
Yeah.
Okay, well, because we are Billboard, we want to talk about the music and how that played a role in the film. So when
Brocker,
you
That's
guys,
a great question.
right? We that's because
Brocker, get in here.
Right?
Come on over.
Brocker, come on, I'll show the. Come on, Brocker, get in here. Now
You're coming in.
Now we're getting to the meat.
All right, this is the meat.
And also, we just want to prove we actually have some good lookers in the family. So,
Hi there.
This is our oldest brother, Brocker,
Okay.
and he did the original score beginning to end of this entire documentary.
Wow.
And it's an amazing score. He's probably actually the most talented out of all of us, to be honest.
Totally agree.
He's like, I agree.
He scored the documentary, and so you can ask him any questions you want.
Yeah, absolutely. Baseball, music, this has got to be a really challenging thing, but also a special thing, like I was saying, to be a part of, because it's very close to home.
Yeah, it is. I think when you're scoring it, not only are you trying to make a great score for your brothers, but you also have my grandfather as a part of it. And actually, I do have little stories that when Bing was passing away, he brought all of us into a room one at a time, and he talked to me about what music meant to him. And he said that when he was a young guy, music was a romantic thing. And I think that played a little bit into this score, actually. Ooh. This idea that, it is a baseball doc. We definitely have like an inspiring music in it, but there's a little bit of romance to this, and there's a romance to baseball and a romance to his life.
Absolutely. And, Kurt, for you, because you've been in Hollywood and you've been in front of the camera for so many years, do you use music to emotionally prepare for a role? How does it...
It's an interesting question.
Yeah.
I don't personally, but I've been on sets, Cameron Crowe's set, Quentin Tarantino's set, where they play music constantly.
Okay.
And the mood is definitely being set. I think it's a great idea, and I think that it should be done more. Mm-hmm. It's actually very, very old school. It's the way they used to do it.
Yeah, it's the way they used to do it.
Before there were talkies, actually when I first started.
Wow.
So I think it's a great way to do it. These guys have a band together too, Chapman
I heard.
and Brocker.
Sophomore album coming out.
What's the new album?
We got a sophomore album. It's not named yet, but we're working with a great producer, Tom Biller, who's worked with Elliott Smith and Fiona Apple and John Bryan and Kanye West, and just a really talented guy, and we're just thrilled to be working with him and finishing the album.
He worked on this project as well.
Yeah,
he did.
He recorded and mixed the score, and so it was great being able to work with him on this again. And we're really excited to have our album come out. It's not quite finished. We had to put it on hold to finish the film here,
Yeah.
but as soon as this premieres, we'll get back to work on it. So.
I gotta say, when we found out that we got into Sundance, we had nothing but temp music. So we asked Brocker to do the most impossible task out of anything, which was score a feature-length documentary in 4 weeks.
Wow.
And he literally didn't sleep at all, and he did it. And the product is so amazing that it's actually one of the best components of our entire documentary is the music that's a part
Like
of it.
I say, Chops and Mac are obviously a huge part of this score as well. Chop literally slept next to me while I scored this thing.
I slept on the couch.
Yeah.
I would score through the night. He would wake up in the morning and listen to it and be like, yeah, that's not good.
Yes.
So it was definitely a team effort on that.
I'm kind of feeling a little like the Beatles here.
I know, right? I know. I feel like I am talking to the Beatles. I like this. Well, maybe you guys can all form a band.
Yeah.
I'll be the one turned around backwards.
Yeah. No music in your future. Kurt?
Yeah, hopefully not.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Last question. I just want to know if you have any other projects in the works or anything coming up for 2014 besides the film. Kurt, for you as well.
Okay, I'll start with mine. I'll go fast. Actually, there's 2 independent pictures. One's called Clang. Mark Pellington wrote it and directed. I think it's a terrific story. It's an Alzheimer's kind of thing. And also Bone Tomahawk, written by a man named S. Craig Zoller, who I think is the best Western writer out there today. Haven't done a Western since Tombstone, so I'm looking forward to doing that. And I'm in the middle of shooting Fast and Furious, which, as we know, is they're trying to figure out what they're going to do there. And also, Race to Save Nome is a picture that Brian Presley's directing that I'm anxious to get started in. Hopefully, we'll get started in March and April. And there's a lot of other things that are in the wind, but I'm happy to say that it's fun to watch these guys start now, and I'm anxious to see what they've done.
I am anxious to see this film. I cannot wait. Congratulations,
Thank
by
you
the
very
way.
much.
And your first Sundance experience, right?
Yeah.
It's been good? Yeah, you guys been
Absolutely.
having fun as well?
It's been an
You're enjoying
absolute
Main
blast.
Street?
Very much
This is
fun.
fantastic. I got to see Kate in her movie, Wish I Was Here, then Wyatt in his movie, Cold in July. And so we're
family
a part
affair.
of 3 world premieres here at the Sundance Film Festival. Somebody at the festival said, I don't think that's ever been done before. So
Yeah, I like the energy.
yeah, we're making history.
Yeah, we're making history. I like the energy here. Well, congratulations once again. Thanks for joining us here at
Thanks,
Billboard.
Michelle.
I'm Michelle Marie, the family of the century right over here. The Beatles, part 2. See you guys next time.